and it's on. What's going on, body odor sufferers? I don't know if I'm gonna make this a long one. I don't think I really want to make it a long one, but there's a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of weird stuff. It's not weird. Well, yes, this whole odor condition is weird in itself, but there's just a lot of weird shit that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up to me. Especially yesterday. So yesterday, I had this feeling I was gonna have a worse day simply because I didn't really exercise yesterday. I mean, I did a little like weightlifting. I did like bicep curls, and I did what are these things called where you just lift the weights like this? Shoulder presses. But I didn't sweat because it was cold, and so I didn't sweat at all, and I was already tired, so I was like, fuck this stuff. So I ended it early. I didn't sweat at all, and I thought that was gonna be really bad because since I didn't sweat at all, usually the toxins, whatever, the thing that make you smell bad is gonna still be on your skin, even if you take a bath. It's just gonna appear back up once you start to sweat again. So, so with that, I already planned or had an idea in my head that I was going to smell when I got to work. And let me tell you the story. Let me explain all the weird things, weird, interesting things that confuses me. So, 9:30 I leave, and I get to the job at like 10:22. Ooh, I do remember the time. It was 10:22. I waited out because I just don't want to deal with people, and I wait till it turns 10:30. I don't even really go. It's like a funny thing about me is I always come to work early, but I never want to get to work early. Like I get in the parking lot area early, and I can get there before it turns 10:30. But mm, most of my feelings about the job is like, fuck this job. So I'm always gonna come late. Even when I come early, I'm only gonna get there late because I just don't care about this job. Um, in any case, once it hits like 10:30 or something like that, I get into the building and I wait at the elevator. I wait at the elevator, and while I'm waiting at the elevator, somebody else starts to come through and wait with me at the elevator. And that's when my anxiety rises up a little bit because when people are around me, I get anxiety. When they're around me and they have to come inside the elevator room, this small compartment, I don't know if it's compartment, but this I guess is just elevator. Yeah, I guess is a elevator a room? Technically it's a room. Technically it's a compartment, right? Once they come in this small compartment with me, my anxiety rises even more. So we're waiting, both waiting on the elevator. This woman was, she's some young woman, and she had like a bunch of balloons, of happy birthday balloons and stuff like that. So it's her birthday. I don't know. I don't know if it was her birthday. I don't know if she's giving it to somebody. All I know is I don't give a fuck about her. I'm just completely just focusing on just trying to go to work. I'm not trying to do small talk with people. Throughout these years, well, I never was a small talk person. I was never the type of person that greeted people, say, hey, how's it going? Or maybe they have a lot of balloons or something odd about them, and I point that out and try to strike up a conversation. I was never that type of person in my life. And with this odor condition, I'm definitely not that type of person. I'm just like, let me just focus in on this thing. Let me just focus in on trying to get into the elevator and then go to work, right? So once the elevator door opens up, I'm greeted by another person. It's like an older Hispanic person. And when I got into the room, when I got into the elevator, he made the stupidest fucking reaction, which shouldn't have surprised me because I already expected I was gonna smell bad since I didn't exercise and sweat out the toxins or sweat out the odor. He made it like reaction that like he was trying to hold his breath while I was walking into the elevator, and I'm just thinking this whole time, oh, please, this does I probably don't smell that fucking bad, but he was doing that fucking expression like where I guess he's not biting his lip, but he's looking down, folding his bottom lip, and then taking an expression like, oh man, this is gonna smell really bad. But I'm like, I don't give a shit because the weird thing is the woman that also came in the elevator with me with the balloons. I didn't see any reactions from her, but this guy was just being super extra and super exaggerated. Like I smell the worst, but the woman didn't give me that reaction. Maybe I did smell, but maybe she could handle the funk that's coming off of my body. Um, but yeah, throughout the whole elevator ride, even though it was a very short ride, I didn't really see any reactions from the woman who was carrying the happy birthday balloons. But this old Hispanic guy he was doing all these types of expressions. But then, what's funny was within the elevator ride, he was trying to strike up little small conversations and stuff with the woman holding the balloons. And it's like, oh, is your birthday, or you're just giving it to somebody? And yeah, the woman was like, yeah, it's not for me, it's for somebody else. And she's like, oh yeah, those are a lot of balloons. Hope you got cake. She's just being a fucking goofy, stupid motherfucker. I don't give a shit. I'm just in the back of the elevator, like rolling my eyes. Oh please, get the fuck out of here. I don't know why. I'm just not in a good mood. I'm never really in a good mood, to be honest. So she leaves, like, on the fifth floor, and he's still commenting. And once she leaves, he still comments, and he says it like I'm supposed to respond to it. Like, I hope she got a big cake. And I guess he's expecting me to say something to that, and I'm just ignoring the fuck out of him. I'm just like, whatever. I didn't say shit. So he's like still trying to continue to talk to try to possibly strike up a conversation, and I'm just silent, waiting on my ride to, waiting on the floor to get off, right? And then once I get off the sixth floor, I leave. And when I leave, he makes the biggest exhale ever. Like he was just breathing out. Like he was just holding his breath for so long. He was like once I left, he made this like this exhale, like he was holding his breath for so long, because apparently I just smell the worst. And once I got that type of reaction from this guy, I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be a really bad day. I'm like, fuck it, right? But so I go into the office, and I put my food in the refrigerator, and I go into my own room, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't really feel like being here. I'm gonna leave. I'm tired of being here. So, I don't really do any. The thing is, I don't really have any other tasks to do, because I'm waiting on my boss to give me new tasks. So I just go out and do. I don't really. It's not like I like play video games or something like that, but I do other web related stuff that I think is more interesting. So I'm just doing all that type of stuff. While I'm doing that, I saw my boss. Oh, look at that. Ugh. I saw my boss attempt to walk in, but then he backs out. So that made me say, "What the fuck? Maybe, oh man, do I smell that bad to the point that he can't even walk in the room?" And I think I overheard him speak to the receptionist, whispering, but still could hear it, saying, "Oh my god, he smells so bad." So when I heard that shit, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be really bad, right?" A couple of hours later, somebody comes into my room, and I don't know who it is, and apparently it was some type of guy who works for the building, and he was supposed to remove, like, there's in my room, I guess the floor is matted down with some type of like wooden. It's not really wooden mat, but it looks like wooden mat, if that makes any sense. It looks like wooden, dark brown wooden mat. But there's a section all the way to the corner that has a carpet. It has a carpet mat. So the guy that came in basically was doing work to remove this carpet mat and then replace it with wooden mat. And the reason why I'm telling you this stuff is throughout the whole experience, I don't think he reacted to me or did anything at all that made me feel like I smelled bad. I would think he would be rubbing his nose. I would think he'd be like, holding his breath. I would think he would do all these other things. A lot of times if I smell really bad and I get up, I see people react to me like as if, I don't know, like as if maybe the odor was coming from my bum or something like that. But when I was getting up to leave because I needed to go to lunch, he was acting like he didn't do any type of reaction, or there was no indication that I smelled bad. So that was weird, but at the same time I'm thinking to myself, he's probably talking shit once I leave. He's probably gonna say a lot of stuff once I leave, right? But when I get back, I had to have some type of meeting with the boss to actually do stuff for the company because I haven't been doing anything for the last couple of days. I did slight things, but there really is very little things to do because there's not as many tasks that he has given me. So within this meeting, and I was supposed to have this meeting like a week ago, but every day he puts it off, and I think it's because I smell bad, right? Um, and finally he's like, okay, we have to do it today. So finally, after I come back from lunch, we sit down and we discuss things. We discuss things. But before I sit down, or before I come into his room, or before he even comes to me and asks to do this, like, this meeting to figure out what we should do now, he starts spraying the room. He starts spraying the room, right? Starts spraying it with some type of, with air freshener or whatever the case may be. So I'm thinking to myself, really? I smell that fucking bad, right? That's so fucking stupid, but I'm like, fuck this job, right? And after you start spraying the room, then he comes, and it's not my room because, like I said before, the office has like, there's this wide open. I guess there's four different rooms because there's just the main room, and to the left is the kitchen, and above that it will be my room, and then above that it'd be like his kid and wife room, and then to the right it will be his room. So he sprayed the main area with air freshener. He didn't actually spray my room. So I naturally assumed he sprayed it because, oh, I smell so bad, right? So he finally calls me up, and then I go into his room. And even then, he starts spraying the room, and then he starts wiping his desk, down with some type of like Clorox disinfectant wipes and stuff like that. And he was doing it for like a couple of minutes, and I'm thinking like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? And then he tells me, "Oh, I'm not really doing it for you. I'm doing it because, I forgot her fucking name. It's the real estate agent. If anybody hasn't really heard my vlog story, there's a real estate agent that he has, and apparently she had some type of cold or something, and he was telling me, oh, the reason why I'm spraying all this air freshener and stuff and wiping the stuff down is because I don't want to get sick because she got sick and I hate getting sick, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And throughout as we continue, with the meeting, and he's telling me stuff that he wants me to do, um, things he wants me to get done. Uh, I would think that I would see some type of reaction because he's a little bit more closer to me, and but I didn't see any reactions at all. And when I got up, usually when I get up, for some reason they get the most reactions. People get the most reactions. But when I get up to leave, I expected to get a reaction, but he didn't. There's nothing he did. In addition to that, I expected to hear, even when I leave, I expected to hear him spray air freshener or something like that. And I didn't hear that at all. So then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right? I'm thinking, what is going on? Because if I got reactions from this fucking guy in the elevator, uh, I don't know what it is, and I didn't exercise at all. And usually, when I don't exercise, I smell the worst. Then why is it that some people act like I don't smell? Or maybe I just misinterpreted the guy in the elevator, but that I couldn't have misinterpreted him because why would you do that stupid reaction like you're holding your breath, like, and then exhale when I leave? That's very odd, right? So it makes me think to myself, a couple of things. It makes me think that one, it might be my body odor might be intermittent, right? It might smell at certain points. At certain points, odor might come off of me or whatever. It might. Or two, what was the second one I had in my head? The second one I had in my head was body odor is intermittent. The second one was, I forgot what the second one was. Oh yeah, everything. I guess my diet is working. I don't know. I guess that's the second possibility because all I was eating for the last couple of days, again, is oatmeal, apples, oranges, brown rice, and baked potatoes. Like those are the only things I've been eating for the last couple of days. So maybe um, it's working. Maybe the diet is working. And obviously, I was taking supplements. One day, I keep saying this. One day, I'm gonna show you my supplements. I want to get a better camera to show you, but I don't think it really matters. Um, I don't think it really matters at all, honestly. So I could just show you it. Maybe the next time I make this, because there's actually a lot of other things I wanted to talk about, but like I wanted to talk about something I read on one of the posts. I also wanted to make a video the about the body odor support forums I go to because I think it's interesting. And like I said, I always go on Facebook and I only go to two because I don't think I want to go to three or four or five. I don't think I need to go to all of them. I'll just go to like two and that'll be it. Um, And I know a lot of people. I used to go on Curazone. If anybody has ever heard of that, damn, it's already 17 minutes. God damn, I thought it was gonna be a short video. I used to go to Curazone, but now I go to Facebook. And even though a lot of people don't like Facebook because of the fact that they steal your information and sell it to third parties, just make up a fake Facebook profile. Call yourself something else. I have a friend, a body odor friend. I don't know if I should say her real name, so I won't say her real name. But she created a fake profile, and I didn't know. I didn't. She said that she created a fake profile, and I guess I didn't accident. Well, yeah, I technically accidentally chose the same board that she went on, and she named herself Amy Brooks. It's like the like her name is like the like I have never heard some. That's like the whitest name I ever heard in my life. Amy Brooks. I don't think I ever heard a white woman named Amy Brooks. It's such a very generic, and it's so funny. But I mean, just make up a fake profile. Yeah. But other than that, it was very weird yesterday, and I decided not to exercise today again because I'm really interested. Because usually I have this idea in my head that if I don't exercise, and it makes sense because you have to sweat out the odor, right? Because there's always this excess buildup. But I'm gonna not exercise the second time. I mean, I haven't exercised today, and I'm gonna see the reactions and see what happens. I didn't want to make it this long, so I'm gonna end it right here.